Hi, I'm Rich Miller. At Virtua, we believe citizens need to be informed about the important healthcare issues affecting their lives. That's why we're proud to support healthcare programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Family health and wellness next on Caucus, New Jersey.
Funding for this edition of Caucus, New Jersey has been provided by Virtua, South Jersey's comprehensive healthcare system, Health First New Jersey, and by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, founded by the Jewish community.
Welcome to Caucus, New Jersey. I'm Steve Adubato. You know, obesity is a growing epidemic in the United States, but there are changes that you can make to get your overall health under control. Joining us here in the studio to talk about living a healthier lifestyle are April Schetler, who is nutrition coordinator at the Virtua Center for Weight, Dr. Ohan Karotoprak, who is a director of family medicine at Holy Name Medical Center, Frank Marzin, client at the Virtua Center for Weight Management, and finally, Glenn Gero, of the holistic, give me this word again.
Naturopathic.
Now, the naturopathic word you said has been around 100 years.
Yes.
Why don't we know it?
Well, it's the problem with naturopathic medicine is that it's been obscured by conventional medicine.
Right.
Most people are looking for quick cures where drug therapy is predominant. Naturopathic medicine requires a significant effort on the part of the patient. It's lifestyle medicine. But basically, naturopathic medicine has been around since the dawn of time.
And you're in Clifton.
And I'm in Clifton.
Talk to us about the Virtua operation.
Virtua Center for Weight Management, we are dealing with people who are interested in making a lifestyle change for the better. Just taking their nutrition and getting it under control, kind of getting it back to where we all should be eating, and encouraging fitness along the way to change people's lives in a positive way.
Now, you were there.
Yes.
Talk about your experience.
Well, I've had two experiences. I did the program once about 7 years ago, lost about 40 pounds, and became the fittest I ever was in my life, and then kind of resumed my, bad habits, I'll say, to the point where I felt like I needed to re-engage and retake the program. So I'm working with April now, and I'm about 5 weeks into it.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this so challenging for us, Doctor?
It's challenging because not everybody is always the same way, and not everybody is always the same reason, really. The reason is different, so it has to be a kind of tailored treatment for each individual, because obesity is not the same for everybody.
What do you mean?
Obesity, because you can have normal weight obese, and you can have overweight obese. Normal weight obese means that you have normal body mass index, but you have excess body fat, because obesity means excess body fat, not necessarily body weight. So if you have 25% and above body fat for women, you're obese.
Right.
And 25% above fat for men, you're obese. And for 30% above fat, for women, you're obese. So you can have normal body mass index, skinny arms, skinny legs, and really big belly. And body mass index is normal, means your weight is quote unquote is okay, but you have over fat. That's what obesity means. And on the other hand, you can have overweight, you can be overweight and obese. But you can be a bodybuilder, muscly, and no fat. Right. And you're overweight, obese category in body mass index, but actually you're normal weight with excess muscle mass. So we have completely different body structures. So then we categorize people. We categorize people normal body weight, normal body fat, on the way to obese, obese with normal weight, obese with overweight. So then all these people we treat different.
Why don't we talk about this? Let's talk about the whole question of weight, okay? Some people are afraid to get on a scale. How much of it is the weight and how much of it is body mass? Your thoughts?
Afraid of getting on the scale?
Well, let's talk about the difference between weight versus
body fat.
Body fat, from your point of view, in terms of overall health.
I agree, body fat is paramount over weight when you get to a certain degree. We concentrate on body fat percentage and overall body composition just as much as we do on weight. Unfortunately, in our culture, weight has such a stigma, and you know, we need to get under the certain number. We need to get down to the certain number. What's going on underneath? What's your body composition like? How much fat-free mass to fat mass do you really have? When that fat mass gets high, we get that central adiposity going on here. We got all kinds of other risk factors going on, and that's when we really get into trouble.
Actually, when they come to office, what I say is that don't concentrate on weight. Let's measure your waist circumference. And all we want is that to decrease your waist circumference, possibly even keeping your weight as it is if necessary. Your waist circumference comes down, your inches coming down, your size decreases. Doesn't matter what scale says. As a matter of fact, if your scale says more with the same waist circumference than it being normal waist circumference, you are healthier. It means you have more bone mass and muscle mass. So it's so crucial to have body composition being normal weight to understand that waist circumference is important.
You know what I find fascinating? This whole debate about weight versus body fat.
Right.
Now, you told one of our producers, doctor, that she shouldn't even have to worry about the scale, just worry about body fat. First of all, how do you actually accurately measure body fat? And really, we should throw our scales out?
No, not necessarily, but we can measure body fat simply. Obviously, you can measure with instruments like MRI or DEXA, but at home...
Oh, MRI or what?
MRI or DEXA, something that you can measure body fat in the hospital. But simply at home, you can get a tape measure, put on your navel, and measure your waist circumference. So the numbers are very clear-cut. If you're a woman, and if your waist circumference is more than 35 inches, you're obese. If you're a man, if your waist circumference is more than 40 inches, you're obese. So you are trying to get your inches down as you're losing body fat, and you're getting into conditioning. So you can lose actually a lot of body fat and put some muscle mass on, and be even healthier, shrink down your belly, and put muscle mass on. And obviously, you're not going to lose that much of weight because you put muscle mass on. Your metabolism will increase. You're becoming healthier. And there's a study definitely came to, one in Europe, one in Far East, that when they measured body mass index, we say body mass index more than 30, you're obese. Actually, body mass index 25 for both men and women was the best for longevity. So even the body mass index was almost close to overweight level, that was the longevity level.
That's an important one. April, I'm curious something about you. 10 years ago, you lost 70 pounds?
Yes.
First of all, how did you do it? And is that a huge part of how you play this role at Virtua?
Absolutely.
Talk about it.
It's why I do what I do, really. About 10 years ago, I just got sick of the way that I felt. I was tired all the time, didn't have any energy, just sick of feeling bad about myself. Decided to do something about it and just gradually started learning how to eat right. Did that first, and then I just went outside and I started jogging at the time, which was only a couple blocks at a time. Gradually, as I started losing my weight, I just got fascinated that I had this control over myself, that I could make myself healthy like I saw everybody else being, and I was in total control. Once I lost the weight, I was just empowered with this new energy. So I actually changed careers and became a dietitian so that I can help other people, you know, achieve the same success and get that same great feeling that I have.
Is it about control? I mean, you use the word control a lot. I mean, at the Virtua Center for Weight Management, is it about getting in control? You're shaking your head.
Well, I think it's about getting control of yourself and training yourself to have a different way and pattern of living. You know, it's a lifestyle choice, and it's a very personal, how do you get in your own mind the right set of choices to live a healthier lifestyle? And it's not just eating, it's health, is fitness, activity. I think what April said was really key. I was very sedentary. You know, this program is what really got me out and got me to be more fit, more active, so.
And Doctor, jump in here.
You know, I think it's really important what April said. If we have a paradigm that we want to have more energy and we want to lose weight, I think it's more important to focus in on that than the weight loss. Because if we think about losing weight, we're actually moving away from what we don't want. We don't want to be heavy. And if we move away, if we try to move away from what we don't want, we're more apt to find it.
I want to be clear. You say that weight loss is a byproduct of a healthy lifestyle.
weight loss is a byproduct of a healthy lifestyle. But if we focus in on, I want more energy, I want to be healthy,
Right.
if that is our prime motivator, we're more apt to keep the weight off than if we say, I want to lose weight, I want to lose 30 pounds because I have a high school reunion in 2 months. If you think along that line, you're more apt to gain the weight back. So having that paradigm that April said before, I'm more energetic, I feel healthier, I feel, my health is optimal, I'm getting sick less often. If that is your prime motivator, then you're more apt to stay on a positive path than to focus in on what I don't have. I need to lose weight. It's a negative connotation.
I'm curious about this. I mean, Health Savvy is the name or the brand that you guys go by in your organization. How much of being health savvy, I want to differentiate between wellness and health versus cosmetics and the vanity part of this. I mean, I try to work out every day and try to eat right because I want to be healthy, but to be super candid about it, a lot of it is vanity. A lot of it is because if you're in this medium, you don't want to look that heavy. And I'm super critical when I'm looking on the air, hey, I think I look heavy in this shot or that shot. You're like shaking your head. Is there a good balance here between the two?
Well, I think the excess body fat really gives so many diseases or makes you prone to so many diseases. So you want to be healthy in that way anyway. Besides look, you know, I don't know if anybody knows, but fat cells produce so many hormones and enzymes that makes you prone to blood pressure, makes you prone to stroke, heart disease, diabetes. I mean, if you get this message out there saying that excess body fat, not necessarily weight again, excess body fat, that will make you definitely sicker and then will affect your quality of your life as you go on in your life, then I think there'll be more into it, losing the excess body fat,
but I just
getting healthier.
I respect that and I appreciate that, but can there be a balance, April, between wanting to look better, present yourself to the world better, but also being healthier in the process?
I think
a balance between physical appearance and being healthier.
There's such a thing too as your inward beauty just comes out when you take care of yourself. When you're exercising, when you're eating right, you're fueling yourself with your body with the things that allow us to walk around with our head held high, allow us to be confident. You know, certain people that take care of themselves like that, they just radiate a certain way. So we can't be confused with somebody's outward appearance. Maybe they have a couple extra pounds, but maybe on the inside they feel fantastic about themselves. Same token, you take someone who looks fit, they might be a train wreck inside as far as health is concerned. So we really need to look on the inside and go from the outside.
Absolutely. By the way, log on to our website to get more information on this. How much of this is a family issue? I mean, we talked about family wellness. For your, is there a family issue for you, and how much of this has to do with genetics?
I think there's a genetic component to my physical construction. If you meet my sisters, you will see we tend to have the same weight problem.
That you just said that.
They are not, right? But they have to face it. They face it like I have. That
it's in our family too, so go ahead.
But I think, back to your other point, I think the balance is more of a bonus.
What do you mean? When
you get fit and healthy, you look better. And by the standards of our culture, you are going to physically represent yourself. Right? You're going to be thinner, you're going to be more fit. You are going to achieve those. They're almost the wins of doing this, right? So I don't know that it's so much a balance. The balance is you have to make the right life choices to get to that point. But you will look better, right? You will feel better.
Let me ask you something. You, right now, in terms of the ongoing effort to be as healthy as possible, where are you in the process? Because you look good.
Yeah.
Have
but
you
I don't
felt
look
better?
As good. I felt much better 5 years ago than I feel today.
Where are you now in the process?
I'd say I'm at the beginning. I'm probably just starting out where I was when I did the program the last time.
Where do you want to be?
I want to be 5 years ago. I want to feel like I was when I was 45, and I'm 50.
And is that based on weight? Is it based on body fat? What's it based on?
It's going to be less weight, less body fat, but I'll be much more fit and active.
And something that Frank has mentioned to me before when we first met, he said, I just don't feel good about myself. I've done this program before, I know that it works. And I said, well, what works about it? And he said, I started taking care of myself and I felt better for it. And he's just now starting to get back to that point where he's taking time for himself and doing these things, and it's making him feel so much better that, you know, he's going to be very successful, I have no doubt.
Let's talk about the family piece again. Let's go back to this.
Yeah, I think it's not only important to have family support, but also to have support around your social surroundings, the people that you congregate with, your friends, your relatives, but to have agreement among them that you're not going to be a victim of sabotaging your weight on the basis of their wants, because oftentimes you succumb to their sense of immediate gratification rather than to be diligent about your own motivations and your own reasons for doing what you're doing.
But hold on, though. I hear what you're saying, but I want to get, there's a little bit of a different family issue I want to talk about.
I would say probably like obese people in the family, usually kids follow the same way as their parents. So it becomes really very important that if father or mother, they are obese, for the kids to be obese is much easier, much simpler, because it's a role model. The parents are usually role models, plus whatever is at home there is being eaten, or what kind of exercise activity or what kind of activity as family they are doing.
And you got genetics.
Exactly.
Okay, but
Yeah.
here's what I want to get at. Family. In our house, we have 4 kids, but they're not all there at the same time, at all different ages. We try as much as possible to eat a family dinner, but there are times where some of the kids will want to go off and eat on their own to watch TV, and there are times they don't eat what we're eating. And my wife and I will discuss this, and they'll have the macaroni and cheese as opposed to the chicken and the salad and the vegetables that we're having. I know that we're not as good as we should be, but here's the point I'm trying to make, and there is a point here, I promise. Should we be saying, no, a healthy lifestyle and family wellness is about us eating together, and a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, you're going to do it because that's what we do as a family. You're saying yes?
I agree, but at the same time, I don't have kids. So it's
Okay,
easy
go
for me
ahead.
to say yes, but dinner time, I mean, growing up, you know, 5 o'clock at my house was dinner time. It was dinner time. We sat down as a family. We shared about our day. We ate relatively healthy as a family. And that was our time to kind of come together. And I think, you know, we're kind of getting away from that as a society, and it might be a little bit easier to say, you know what, throw your mac and cheese in the microwave, go ahead and watch your program, it's okay. But looking back, I love that my parents did that for us, because that was just our time to come together, and you know, what a great time and platform to set an example for your kids that we're taking health, you know, seriously here, and we're kind of bonding at the same time.
And plus, really, what happens is that if there's a new married couple, let's say they're going to have kids or so.
Sure.
If they start from the beginning eating healthy and setting up the structure that they're going to be eating with the children and eating healthy, on what kids see on the table from get-go, from youth age on, that's what they get used to.
Stay on that.
Yeah, so if you give the kids more vegetables and fruits as they're growing up, the taste is going to acquire that one versus the macaroni and cheese.
So doctor, time out.
Yeah.
I know I'm interrupting,
Yeah.
but I need to do this. Did my wife and I make a mistake with our 9-year-old when he did not want to eat fruit and did not want to eat vegetables, where we fought a little bit more, and then said, okay, it looks like he's not going to eat anything. Let's give him the macaroni and cheese. And now, trying to get him to eat fruit and vegetables is that much more difficult. We screwed up.
I think.
Can you come over our house?
Sure.
I think if you're really insisting, and then if you're kind of rewarding, would have been different ways. If they ate fruits and vegetables,
Yes.
and he would have gotten used to.
We have a
probably-
19-month-old
Yes.
baby right now,
Right.
little girl. We're doing all the right things with her.
I'm sure
We're
I'm
forcing
sure-
it, and now,
right.
now she loves fruits and vegetables.
Exactly.
Right.
She's going to grow up totally different ways, different setup, and the taste, as I said, she's going to acquire different tastes.
Acquire.
Different.
Jump in
tastes.
here.
There's also a very addictive quality to foods.
Addictive.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Foods can become addictive. And those foods that we're most sensitive to are the ones that we're more apt to reach for. Now, children get about 10,000 messages from food manufacturers every single year on TV, in the media.
10,000?
Absolutely. And the problem is that not only are they getting that reinforcement from all of their children's programming, but they're also being reinforced in the school system with their friends. They go over parties, and you look at children's menu. You go to a diner, you go to a restaurant, you look at the kids' menu.
Yeah.
What is the kids' menu? It's cheese sticks, fish sticks,
Chicken
macaroni and
fingers,
cheese.
fries,
This is garbage food. And most of these kids have a sensitivity to refined foods. With my practice, I will notice that nearly 60% of the children that come to see me have a gluten sensitivity. Take away the gluten, all of a sudden, their ability to concentrate is enhanced. Their behavior is better because we're taking out those essences, that food that's actually causing cognitive decline and behavioral issues.
Great. Let's go a little bit longer on this, okay?
Yeah, the other thing is that really
I'll come back to you. Jump back in.
I just had a comment getting back to, did you mess up with your
Oh,
wife?
why do we have to go back to that?
I'm sorry, I got to bring it up. I want to say that something that I think is great for families, and if they're struggling with their kids eating fruits and vegetables, get them involved. Bring them into the kitchen. Get them a knife that's okay for them to use, and have them cut up their vegetables that they're going to eat that night. They helped. They felt that they helped make that meal, and they might be more apt to eat it. Take them to the farmer's market. Say, pick out any new thing you want. Get the brightest color, the craziest shape, whatever you want. We'll go home and I'll show you how to make it.
How does that help?
It gets them involved in choosing their own foods, getting excited about foods. Maybe it's the most colorful thing. Maybe it's the craziest shape that they found that day in the farmer's market. They'll be excited to go home and eat it because they picked it out. Instead of mommy always saying, do this, do this, do this, instead the parent can say, go pick out the vegetable that you're going to have tonight. Get the best color or whatever you want, and we'll eat it together.
You liking this idea?
Yeah, well, I wish I'd had that advice 15 years ago when I had that 9-year-old who refused to eat. But
Yeah.
It's a
great
struggle
advice.
now.
Yeah, it was, and the thing is, the medical advice at the time was to give him the mac and cheese.
Mhm.
What do you mean?
Well, when we took him to the pediatrician, said he will not eat. He will not eat anything. The doctor said, what does he want? Well, pasta. Give him pasta. You know, and that's what he
You
had
need
for 3 or
nutrition,
4
so,
years.
yeah.
Well, it's easy
And-
to say it was the wrong advice, but
Yeah.
that was the advice you got.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what you
now,
did.
Unfortunately, that's.
Right.
But now I'm sure that pediatrician probably will say different now.
Okay,
because
you know.
the trend is changing. The other thing I was just before I forget, I want to say.
You don't
is
go
that
back to get to do it again.
No, I
though.
don't
That's
get
the
to
only
do
catch.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem. Go ahead, doctor.
Whatever you like, the brain actually remembers the taste that it liked the most,
Right.
and the latest. So if the kids get to like something vegetable, let's say a vegetable dish or so, when they are hungry again, the brain remembers that dish first. Versus if you gave them a junk food or fast food, if they liked it, the brain is going to remember that. So when they get hungry, they're going to remember that first. So once you do, yes, this is really
You
how
sound
it
like
goes.
we're playing tricks on
Yes,
ourselves.
exactly, exactly. The brain actually does the trick.
Oh, okay, so
So-
speaking of playing tricks,
Yeah.
how much of, okay, stay on the wellness thing. Should we be shutting off the television, shutting off the electronic devices and saying, now we're going to go outside and go for a walk.
Yeah.
Now we're going to exercise as a family. Now we're going to not have television time. We're not going to have electronic device time.
In a perfect world, absolutely.
At least cut down on it.
Yeah, or say in your house, dinner's at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, we're going outside for an hour. You know, we'll play tag, we'll go for a bike ride, we'll go for a walk. Again, it's family time. You're getting outside, you're being active. Just setting that example that, you know, it's not dinner and then couch until you go to bed. If you
Good combo, no?
have dinner 5 o'clock, that's 3-4 hours of couch time. That's
The
too
other thing is that you
sedentary.
said
Gotta,
Yeah,
we can't, that's
yeah.
a bad pattern, right?
I
Yeah.
really fear for the children that don't have the social interaction. Our main social interaction was learned outside, playing with other children, and I see a whole generation of kids now who don't spend an hour outside playing with anybody else.
Yeah,
Well, the
trick-
TV becomes the babysitter.
Right.
Whereas when I was growing up, we had a limited amount of TV time because there was very few things that were on television.
And now?
And now kids are more apt to sit in front of the TV for hours and hours. And because parents, you've got two families, two parents both working.
Right.
And they come home, they're tired, they're turning on the TV, and that's the paradigm that the kids pick up on. And quite honestly, sitting down in front of the TV, that's become the babysitter.
You know, it's interesting. Letting kids watch television longer is easier. Letting them play on their devices is easier. Doesn't make it healthier.
That's correct.
It's not a big part of wellness. Listen, we're not against it. We do it in our house. The question is degree. Is that what we're really talking about?
I think you said the right thing just a little while ago, saying that tell the kids, okay, let's go out to do something together. Now, most of the parents don't do that, obviously. They are sitting. They're not a good role model.
Well, excuse me, I want to make it clear.
Yeah.
We get some resistance, but we still force it.
Right, exactly. But if you do, the parents do themselves, it'd be more easier for the kids to follow versus telling the kids go and exercise or get on the bike yourself.
Oh, good one.
So important. I mean, you have to be a role model, participate in order to get them excited and do it with you. Otherwise, it'd be very difficult to say to a kid, or overweight kid or obese kid, to say, get on the bike, and meanwhile you're sitting and playing or doing something in the computer.
Got a minute left. I got a little quick one.
Yeah.
In our hometown, they opened up a frozen yogurt place. It's close. You can walk. You can ride your bike. I like the idea of walking to it. We walk to it. We got the little baby. We walk, 7, 9-year-old. We walk there. The biggest difference, and I look at how many calories it is, you know, fat-free, sugar-free, whatever it is. Big difference between that and ice cream. Now, the kids don't really know the difference. We're tricking them again, and that's good, right?
We're tricking them, but you can tell them.
But that's part of wellness, is it not? I don't mean deception, but you get the point. First of all, we're walking to the place. We're going to the place, and ice cream is fine. But it's good, right?
Frozen yogurt?
No, I'm looking to find out I'm doing something good here.
Yes. Yes. Yes, you are.
Yeah, you know what I'm looking for.
And you're looking at the calories, you're looking at everything else, so you're aware. And that's what being in charge of your health and, you know, is just about being aware. You have to be aware of what you're eating, aware of what you're doing.
And all of you, by the way, I want to thank, sorry for cutting you off.
That's all right.
We could do these shows forever. I want to thank all of you. You've done a great public service. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 20 years of broadcast excellence. N13 for WNET, NJTV, and WHYY. Funding for this edition of Caucus, New Jersey has been provided by Virtua, South Jersey's comprehensive healthcare system, Health First New Jersey, and by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, founded by the Jewish community. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey, and the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus, New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios. Brought to you by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey.
If you're a small business owner, you can actually pool together with other small businesses, the same way large companies do, to help your employees make the best choice for their healthcare coverage. To learn more, information about healthcare options is available at the New Jersey Citizen Action Helpline, 1-888-654-3893.
Brought to you by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey.
Hello, I'm Rafael P. Roman.
And I'm Steve Adubato.
Join us every week on New Jersey Capitol Report.
Because we'll ask the questions that you want and need answered.
Airing on NJTV, 13, and WHYY. Check your local listings.